Bonjour, j'espère que vous allez bien. In this lesson, just one word, could, but how useful, in French with your French tutor online Pascal and FrenchSpanishOnline.com. So let's see the first case. Could is conditional of can. In French, in this case, we also use the conditional mood of the verb pouvoir, which is written this way. Je pourrais, tu pourrais, il pourrait, elle pourrait, on pourrait, nous pourrions, vous pourriez, il pourrait, elle pourrait, so the conditional mood. Well, here we've got two letter R's, so it is sometimes we insist in the pronunciation. Je pourrais, tu pourrais, okay? Not all the time, but if you want to make a difference, yes, you can insist on this letter R. So let's see some examples now, how to use it. Could you help me? Could you help me? So in French, pourriez-vous m'aider? Pourriez-vous m'aider? Of course, if there is just one person you don't know, to show respect, informal, pourriez-vous m'aider? And here, as you can see, it is the infinitive form of the verb to help. Pourriez-vous m'aider? If you know the person, pourrais-tu m'aider? Pourrais-tu m'aider? Pourriez-vous m'aider? Pourrais-tu m'aider? Another sentence, it could be that my father. Well, here, of course, it's not sure, so we are going to use the conditional in French, but it's an expression, and we translate it this way. Il se pourrait que mon père. So here in French, we need this reflexive form. Il se pourrait que mon père. To translate, it could be that my father. Il se pourrait que mon père. You don't say il pourrait que mon père. No, it's nonsense in French. There is, of course, an exception. An exception after the word if. If you've got this if conditional in English, well, in French, you're not going to use the conditional mood after it. If I could start again, yes, of course, here we've got if, and you've got the conditional mood in English. But in French, no. Si je pouvais recommencer. As you can see here, we've got pouvait, and pouvait is the imperfect. The imperfect tense is not the conditional this time. So after if in French, of si, the si conditional, we don't use the conditional mood but the imperfect instead. And you can see that the translation of start again is recommencer in French, to restart. Recommencer. Okay? However, we've got an exception for this exception. When if means whether, we use in this case the conditional yes. So I was wondering if or whether you could come. So if can be here replaced with whether. So in French we are going to use the conditional mood. Si je me demandais si tu pourrais venir. And here, yes, le conditionnel. Je me demandais si tu pourrais venir. So pay attention to the difference between these two English if. When one means whether, you can use the conditional mood in French. You could have bought the bread. This one is interesting because it is past conditional. It is conditional, but a past event. You could have bought the bread. And here, in English, we use could as an auxiliary verb. It's not possible in French, if you remember the lesson. In French, you've got two auxiliary verbs, to have and to be, no more. So how to translate you could have bought the bread? Yes, of course, you could have a look to the lesson, to the proper lesson about the past conditional. But here, because you need the proper auxiliary verb, you are going to translate it this way. Tu aurais pu acheter le pain. So here, aurait is the conditional form of the verb avoir, the proper auxiliary. And where is could? Well, could is now the past participle in French, pu, of the verb pouvoir, which is here irregular, pu. Tu aurais pu acheter le pain. You could have bought the bread. So as you can see in such a sentence for past conditional, the verb to have becomes here the auxiliary verb, and the auxiliary verb becomes the past participle. Let's see now the second case, could in the past. The meaning is used to be able. So could in this case, we use l'imparfait in French, the imperfect tense. Je pouvais, tu pouvais, il pouvait, elle pouvait, on pouvait, nous pouvions, vous pouviez, il pouvait, elle pouvait. Let's see some examples, of course. She could walk at the age of 2. So of course here you understand there is nothing to do with the conditional, it's a past event. So in French we are going to use l'imparfait. Elle pouvait marcher à 2 ans, ou à l'âge de 2 ans. Elle pouvait marcher à 2 ans. Another example, he said he could swim. So here we've got the possibility. However, in French, when it is question of ability, when can or could are related to abilities, we don't use the verb pouvoir in French, but the verb savoir, to know. So here the translation is not using the verb pouvoir. Il a dit qu'il savait nager. So could can be to know in French when the meaning is how to know, how to swim. So the meaning is it's related to an ability, so we use the verb to know in French, savoir. Il a dit qu'il savait nager, but of course the same tense, the imparfait, the verb savoir, savait. Ok? Allez, c'est fini maintenant. Merci d'avoir suivi avec moi cette vidéo. Au revoir, bon français, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Allez, au revoir!